Today we have a very special episode of Partners in True Crime. It's a 2-hour episode. We have Robyn Smith, Noah's aunt. We have Ashley Chadwick, Noah's cousin. And we also have someone that we did a phone recording conversation who agreed to be recorded for this interview that we're going to play and have both Robyn and Ashley react to what he said. And that person is
Jack Newton, Noah's best friend. And I had spoken to Jack before, and he was going to come on the podcast with Robyn a few weeks ago, but he was traveling for work. And I don't really think he wanted to be on camera because of what had happened with News Nation. So we were texting after we got back from Oklahoma. We were texting while we were in Oklahoma. And then I said, well, can I call you? And he said, yeah, we can do it now. And I said, I'm recording this. And he said, that's okay. You can record it. And I said, okay. So I recorded the phone conversation. He's not on camera. It's just audio. But we also asked Robyn and Ashley to come on and listen to the recording. And I just want to be clear, like, we want everyone to have a platform to speak their truth. And this is Jack's perception of what happened that night. He was Noah's best friend. My opinion doesn't matter. Yeah. I just want him to be able to talk freely without everybody just immediately attacking him.
Yeah, we wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for everything. He's Noah's best friend. He was there. He saw him, one of the first people to see him dead. It's got to be a very traumatic situation, regardless of all the information that's flowing around there. So, but at the same point, he's been talking on the record to other people, other media sources, News Nation. He's did an interview with People Magazine, as well as some other organizations too. So it's important that if he's putting this information out there on the record, it should be consistent. His story should be consistent. So the purpose of this podcast is to allow him to tell his story almost a year later from Noah's death and to find out what really happened. That's the goal here. We're not pointing fingers at him, but if your story's inconsistent, you gotta answer to that. And that's hopefully what this call and this recording points out. And we wanted to have Robyn and Ashley here to listen to this and react to this, because Robyn's has been very close to Jack. I mean, Jack has spent a lot of time with them, that family, and Dalen. So it's got to be hard for these people that are very close to each other for something horrible like this to happen. So we don't know what's going to come of this after this interview, but I think it's important as we do continue this investigation, both with the law enforcement and PIs and all this information that's coming out, is to make sure people get on record, make sure their story matches up to what happened, and figure out what happened to Noah. So this is what we're going to do. And so what you're about to hear is a 2-hour interview with Jack and Cindy. All right. So welcome back to What Happened to Noah Presgrove. We have two people you've seen before in the podcast. We have Ashley Chadwick, Noah's cousin, and then we have Robyn Smith, Noah's aunt. So thank you, ladies, for coming on the podcast today. We have some interesting thing to play for you today, and we're going to kind of just go over it and hear your thoughts about it. But before we kind of reveal who we're going to talk about and listen to, just wanted to connect with both of you to find out if there's anything lately that you guys have been hearing that makes you optimistic about the case in general.
I don't really think so. There's not a whole lot of information coming our way right now, so
yeah,
at least not verifiable information. And
God, I know there's a lot of rumors and a lot of online social media chatter and stuff like that. But do you feel like, if anything, law enforcement's keeping you abreast of what's going on and at least letting you know that they're continuing and working on the case?
They keep telling me that they're, working on stuff, and I get little updates and stuff, but nothing huge that I'm aware of. So.
Yeah. Now, also, we got a chance to meet both you guys in person last week, which was awesome to kind of see and hear your thoughts and experiences about going through this. Met a lot of people from the family there, and we'll go into some later details about that. But I think what's really interesting what happened right when we got back, there seemed to be a lot of chatter and movement on certain things, stuff that we can talk about, something we can't talk about. But what was interesting is when we got back, because we were trying to get a hold of Jack while we were there to talk to him face to face. And unfortunately, he was out of the state working at the time. And as fate would have it, I think like the day after we got back, he, because Cindy's been talking to him via text and reaching out to him that way. And also she had a phone conversation with him. But we were able to get him to talk to Cindy. Cindy was able to record the conversation. So he was okay with us recording the conversation for the podcast. So Cindy, why don't you tell these guys a little bit, just give an overview of what your thoughts were before we start playing his own words.
Well, first of all, I want to say that everyone is invited to come and talk to us because I think it's important for everyone to be able to tell their story without being attacked or, all the nonsense on social media. So saying that, he did talk to me, and this is his account of what he's saying. I don't know. I'm listening to him and I'm hearing what he says, and that's that. But it's not fair to just automatically assume that he's not telling the truth. So let's try to give it objectiveness here and be open here as much as possible, and to give everyone the same platform to be able to speak like Caden did. You don't have to agree with what he says. You don't have to whatever, but that's all I ask is for everybody just to be objective. I am glad that he spoke to me. I asked him, I spoke to him like a few weeks ago. We were communicating via text, and I said, I think as Noah's best friend, it's important for him to keep the dialogue open because this case has so much attention on it, and we still don't know what happened. So I am glad that he was able to do that. So I think the reason why I wanted you guys on is because there's been a lot of stories about what he has said, and some of the things he said to me, I was confused about because you guys said something different than what he's saying.
And then Robyn,
I think that it's important for you guys to say, did he tell you this? And I want you guys to say it, not me. Like, I'm just an objective.
Exactly. We're just kind of just creating a forum here for all this stuff to come out. But Robyn, you've told us, and because you talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you've, he, even from the beginning, so you have a good barometer. And Ashley, I don't know how much you've talked to him. Have you talked to him at all? No, nothing. All right. So Robyn's been kind of the conduit for information for Jack, because you told us in the past that he's, you talk to him a lot, and he would say he would come visit you and talk to you. So, I mean, I think that's important to really note that he's not running away from you guys per se, but it's interesting to hear his perspective. He has changed his stories a few times based on the interview he had with News Nation and the People magazine, and what he's told police and what he's told friends of his. So there has been deviations for that, and I think I think you can make some allowances from just it being a shocking moment that he sees his best friend dead, to the point that he had been on and off drinking for the past 3 days. It was late, it was dark, and all this stress of Noah's death, I can't imagine it hasn't affected him, since he was his closest friend. So I think there is some kind of latitude that can be that way. But at the end of the day, the chips are going to fall where they may when this investigation is complete and they find some of the responsible parties. I mean, all we have to go on is what people are saying right now, because none of us were there. None of us were at the party. We got to go by what Jack said, what Caden said, what anybody else at the party says. The last people who saw Noah, I mean, that usually in a sort of investigation, especially on a potential homicide, usually the last person that saw them are usually can be a suspect, because how else can because who else saw them? No one knew them. No one saw them other than those last group of people. And the problem is that the timeline has still been a sticking point. What Caden is saying when he said that Jack burst through the room at 5:15 and woke everybody up and said Noah's dead. We've heard some recorded testimony from one of the Tylers there, and he seems to think that Caden's timeline's off. Some, from when we're hearing with, Caden and his family, they had his phone completely, stripped down and looked at, and as far as what they're telling us that his Caden's timeline matches up with what he's saying. So there's a lot of inconsistencies right now, and as far as we don't know exactly who's telling the truth and what's accurate time-wise. So it's confusing. So I'm glad Cindy was able to get him on the phone and get him on the record and allow us to record the call for the podcast. But I think it's going to be interesting to hear both of yours viewpoint, because you guys are so knee deep in this. And even from the get-go, from when you found out Noah passed on, I'll be interested to hear your feedback and whether or not, is it match up with what he's told you in the past? Does it match up? Is it changing again? Because stories do change, and just so people know, I mean, as far as a police investigation, statements can change all the time. They can change right up until a person has to give testimony in a criminal court case.
And I just want to say, for me, Caden's story has stayed consistent. So I am very inclined to believe someone whose story has stayed consistent. I've met Caden in person, and I do believe his story. So saying that, and I told Jack that. I told him on the call prior to this. I said that I've spoken to Caden, and I do believe what he is saying to be what he saw and what happened. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not calling Jack a liar. I'm just saying that I do believe that Caden's story has some merit to it. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to say before we dive into this to see what you hope to get out of this, or no? You just want to hear it?
Just want to hear it.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to start playing it. And just let me know. Just put your hand up whenever you want me to stop it if you want to comment on something, okay?
All right. So can you tell me a little bit, Jack, thank you for talking with us, first of all. I just wanted to say thank you for giving us your time. Can you tell me a little bit about your friendship with Noah and how you guys met?
Well, we met when I was probably 5 or 6. Went to this little tiny country school out there, kind of like Comanche. Mm-hmm. And he moved to Ada, I think, from there, and then moved back to Duncan to Horseman. Mm-hmm. And after that, he came to Comanche. We were in the 6th or 7th grade when we got back to each other, or started hanging out again, or whatever. And we went all through high school and all that stuff.
So you guys are best friends, because I saw tons of pictures. It looks like you guys were always together.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has said that you guys were inseparable.
Yep.
All right. So the weekend of the party, what was that? Were you dating Carter for a long period of time before that?
No, we kind of sort of just got together.
Okay.
Probably like 2 weeks before that, maybe.
Oh, okay. So you guys didn't really date that long. For some reason, I thought it was long.
Stop for a second.
Can you tell me about the party?
Robyn, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, they were dating for a couple of months before that party.
But they knew each other longer than that. Since 2022. So
yeah. Okay.
Who it was for and what all that was going on that weekend?
Well, we've been just hanging out because I actually lived in Texas, and it was just I don't know, when I wasn't working, I was just always with all my friends, and it was just all of us friends hanging out prior to Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night, people got invited for a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, it wasn't like a huge party every day. It was just me and my friends hanging out with Carter and them.
So then how did it become such a big thing? Did more people show up that you didn't expect?
Well, I didn't look good on the party. I didn't know. It was a birthday party, and it wasn't my birthday party.
Oh, it was Avery's birthday party.
Yes.
Okay. Were you friends with Avery and Carter before all this happened, or no? How did you guys meet that?
I've known them forever.
Okay, so you've known them for a long time too. Okay. Was Noah ever dating Avery or anything like that?
I mean, they were just hanging out.
Yeah, that's what
They weren't dating.
It seemed like you guys had lots of girlfriends. That's what I've been told. I've been told you guys had lots of girlfriends all through the years. Is that true?
I don't know.
All right. What was Noah like? Tell me a little bit about his personality. What was he like?
Just always just laid back, ready to have a good time. Wild. Like no one else, really.
Were you guys like, would you consider him like a brother?
Yes. Yep. He lived at our house for a long time. And when he wasn't at our house, I was at his.
Mm-hmm.
Whatnot. We're just all together.
So Saturday night, were you at the party with him the night before this happened?
Yeah, he was down there hanging out with me.
Oh, he was with you. Okay. And what was going on that night? What'd you guys do?
So we were just hanging out. Just hanging out, just partying pretty much. Just me and probably 4 or 5 of my friends.
Who else was there?
I can't remember if I think Caden Pesci was there that night too. Isaac Sweat. I think Mikey was there. Just my little friend group.
Was that your like core group of friends? I keep hearing the same
Yes.
names over and over again. So it was like you, Brylan, Mikey, Isaac, and Caden, and Noah.
Yeah.
So you guys hung out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday night, did Noah get into an argument with anyone that night? Was there anyone there that might have argued with him, or?
No, it was just us there Saturday night.
Okay.
They said the only argument that happened was Sunday night over Noah's phone or something. I don't know. Somebody hit his phone, or he thought somebody hit his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
I'm going to stop right there because we heard there was an argument Saturday night, and we actually talked to a few people when we were in Oklahoma, who basically verified that they were at the party, and they stated on the record that there was an argument between Noah and Avery. Noah had said something, some sort of remark to her, calling her something, and she said something that we're not, they clearly said that, you don't say that to me. She goes, I'll kill you if you say that to me, or something like that. And, paraphrasing, but we already have the recording of that. So that seems a little bit out of alignment, doesn't it, for you?
Yeah, I know that's when, like you said, he called Avery dirty bad word. And then also, Jack had told us that him and Noah had an argument. It was short, but, they made up pretty quickly and, hugged it out and cried and stuff on Saturday night. So
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And what did he say on the News Nation? I can't remember what he said in the News Nation. Did he say anything about an argument with Noah?
I don't remember.
So.
Ashley, do you?
I don't even
I
think
don't
they
think
talked
he
about
said
it.
anything about the argument. He mostly was talking about the polygraph, and he was adamant that it was a hit and run, and that it was a semi-mirror. But he didn't say anything about an argument. He talked about when you saw Noah, you saw him, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So there's a couple inconsistencies right there. That's changing a little bit. All right. Let's see what else he says.
Of course, when he got upset at the girls, and that's when he walked off apparently. I went to bed Sunday night. I went to bed around 2:00 because I had to go.
You went to bed
fishing.
2 a.m. Okay, so you had plans to do. Why did you go to bed at 2? Was everybody?
Yeah, I saw you both. I saw you both react to that.
Yeah.
He says he went to bed at 2 a.m.
There's a
So
variation
that
of
has
time that he claims that he went to bed. One was not directly told by him, but told to us by another party goer. And she had said that it was 1:30 that he was being put to bed. And there was another story saying that he wasn't even there. So he and his girlfriend left. And so now he's going to bed at 2 a.m.
He sounds
Okay,
pretty definitive.
I thought it was midnight at one time. I thought it was
11.
o'clock.
I heard 11.
Yes.
He had told Victor and Deborah the first story that
And Victor
Victor
is Noah's dad, and
Yeah.
Deborah his grandma.
Yeah, he had told them, and the only story that he's ever told Victor is that he was in bed by 11. And then the second time he talked to Deborah, that time had gotten pushed back to about midnight. And then the third time he talked to Deborah, he had talked to Deborah and Keith, my husband. And it was like 1:00 on the third story that we got. And so, and then Madison too. He had talked to Madison and told her, I want to say about 1:00 is what he told Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
But
surprise
Victor
you?
to this day is like, he told me 11:00. That's the only story that he's ever told me, is that him and Carter were in bed by 11:00.
And then when did he tell Victor that? That was like pretty early on.
Yeah, that was like within,
The same
I'm not sure
month,
if it was
wasn't it?
same day or, within a couple of days, but that's the only story that he has ever told Victor when it comes to what time he went to bed.
So we see that the time is drifting further and further.
Yeah.
11, 11:30, 12, 1, 2. So it's interesting.
Let me grab a tissue real quick. My nose.
Okay.
Sure.
That's fine. So Ashley, I mean, what do you make of it? I know.
I know. I don't know either. I why? Just
If it's so concrete, why wouldn't there be consistency? It is what it is. You can't change that. But if it's not, then obviously you wouldn't have any consistency. So it would just be all over the place. So
Yeah. And I don't know if your memory, at least what I know is that your memory doesn't get better as time drifts. We're coming up on the year anniversary here. I think whatever you would remember a couple days after the incident, which probably when Victor spoke to him, as opposed to when Cindy just spoke to him last week and has told you guys differently, it seems a little different. So, like I said, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a shocking thing that happened to him, seeing his best friend laying there dead. So, I mean, but to me, a deviation from 11 to 2 is that gap is pretty big. If it was like 11, 11:30, or maybe even midnight, give like an hour kind of thing. That's one thing, but that's a pretty big gap in between those two. Now, let's see what else he says.
Everybody's still up when you went to sleep?
Yes. I had to meet my dad at Warwick Lake to go fishing with him and my grandpa.
You guys already have plans to do that?
Yes.
Was Noah going to go with you or no?
He'd mentioned a few times that he wanted to go, but I wasn't really, because I knew he was going to stay up and drink all night.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't really plan on him going, honestly.
So earlier in the night, was he arguing with Avery at all? Did you see any arguments with her?
Sunday night?
Yeah, or Saturday.
No, the only argument I know of is that one with Mikey.
Okay.
Neither one of them were mad that they were just messing around with each other, I think. I'm not sure. I wasn't awake for it.
So, all right, so you went to sleep at 2. Was Carter with you at that time or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys went to bed at 2. Did she go to bed at 2 too?
Yes.
And who was still up? Do you remember? That was a long time ago.
Everyone. No one else went to bed.
So who was all there at that time then? Was it still the same group and more people or?
Yeah, it was my friends and other people too.
Was Jasmine there too?
Yes.
So Jasmine, Carter went to sleep with you. And then Avery, was she awake?
Yeah, everyone was awake.
Everyone was awake? Okay. Was there a side-by-side accident that night?
Yeah, so when I went to bed, I took my keys and brought them to bed with me. And apparently Noah came in there. And apparently everybody said he asked me if he could drive it, but I don't remember that at all. But when he was getting my keys, it woke Carter up. And so that's what woke Carter up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was full of people when Noah was driving it when it wrecked. But
was it you? It was your side by side.
Yes.
Okay. But you were asleep.
Yes.
And then I guess just tell me what happened then. Like, when did you wake up and when did you find out what had happened?
Assuming you want me to finish out the night or just go?
Yeah. Finish up the night. So who's telling you all this information? Because you were asleep.
Really, everyone talked to everyone. All my
that
friends
was there.
And Carter and mainly Carter because she was not drunk at all.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrecked, and everyone came in. And it was all dusty.
I have an issue. He's saying that Carter was his information, but then he also said Carter was asleep with him.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to. Yeah. That's what I was writing down. Yeah.
So what is it? How can he get the information from someone who's not there?
Yeah, who's not
Who's
witnessing,
apparently-
who's not
I think I
seeing
asked
them.
him that after. I think I don't remember, but I thought I asked him after, like, how wasn't she asleep with you?
And did you guys ever hear the story of Noah coming into the bedroom, waking them up to get the keys? Because that's the
So
first.
yes, and I was gonna say, and it doesn't really add a whole lot to the conversation, but I guess when Noah went in there and was getting the keys, was witnessed by Carter.
Okay.
And that's just kind of like that's what they did. I mean, you guys have seen videos of them.
Yeah. No, I know.
And so that was just something Noah did, and
Prankster. He was a prankster.
yeah, but yeah, we had been told by Jack about him and Carter were asleep, and Noah came in there and stole the keys, and he had told us that it had woke Carter up, and Carter had kind of yelled at Noah, and that Noah had done that to him, but he didn't remember any of it. He was just told about it by Carter. He said he didn't wake up or anything. So
Okay. Well, I just thought it's figured that he's getting all the information about the side by side, everything from someone who wasn't there.
yeah,
who
no,
was
that
sleeping
yeah. He as far as I understood it, him and Carter laid back down with him. She didn't get up right then and start partying or hanging out again. So yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Everyone took showers, but when the time they wrecked, pretty sure everyone had left. But so Caden Presley's cousin, I forgot her name, but it's a girl. Her and her cousin, or her and her friend were there. Or yeah, Georgia and Breeley were there, and Caden Presley's mom drove down there. She was coming to get him as the time Noah got mad and walked off. And I don't know really anything about it. I just heard about that not too long ago. But
Yeah.
What time? Because I know Alicia has provided like Life 360 and
Yeah.
what time did it show that they went down there to get Georgia?
I think Caden was still up when that happened.
2:45, I believe she called him and
Okay.
said, "I'm coming now," or I'm here, or I'm on my way, or whatever. And then I believe it was 3, but I'd have to check I'd have to check the screen.
Because I know Jasmine had told us it was probably around 3:30ish whenever he claims that Noah walked off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
At 2:42, Caden's mother called him to tell him that she had Georgia and they were on their way home. Georgia was no longer at the party. So Georgia left the party before 2:42 a.m.
yeah.
But the phone call came into Caden at 2:42 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Jasmine had told us that Noah had wandered off about 3:30ish.
And to be clear, Caden's mother never showed up at that party. So everybody understands that.
She was never at the house.
She was never at that house. She never drove over
Yeah,
there.
she pulled over on 81 and got Georgia out of the car that was on 81. So she never
Exactly.
made it to the house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the big number here is 2:42 is when he was contacted by his mom, Caden. So we know that. And they have the phone records to match that.
And they have the Life 360 to match that Georgia had left the party before 2:42 a.m.
And that Caden was still there.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what else he has to say.
she was down there and she came and picked him up. But
She came and picked up Georgia.
and Breeley.
Right.
No.
So Caden Presley's mom came to pick them up.
Stop.
Yes, Kate
That's-
Presley's mom and her sister,
Okay.
Presley's aunt.
But you were asleep at that time.
Yes. Yeah, I just
Okay, so you didn't see her. This is just, so you're just hearing this from other people over there. Okay, so they said that happened, and then what else did they say?
And so everybody came and took showers. Everybody was kind of getting lining down and go to bed. And Noah asked Avery to sleep in her bed, and she said no. And I heard that he went and asked this other girl to sleep in her bed. She said no. And he was just mad and walked out and said he just told everybody he was going to cool off.
Who did he tell? Who told you these things?
I mean, everyone was awake, the whole friend group.
I know, but who?
Avery.
So that's the first time that I've heard he asked another girl if he could sleep in her bed. He had told us about him asking Avery if he could sleep in the bed, and it wasn't like, he was trying to sleep with Avery. A lot of people are trying to make it out like that, but like he just wanted to sleep in the bed. And Avery told him no, that he could sleep on the floor with another one of her friends like he did the night before. And Jack said that that's when Jack told us about him calling her, a fat, nasty, dirty, bad word the evening before. And that he said, but Avery said she wasn't mad about it. That she wasn't mad, is what he said. But she wouldn't let Noah sleep in the bed. And that made Noah mad. And so Noah decided he was going to walk off. So that's the first time I've ever heard he went
The second one.
another person.
Can we go back just a little bit? Because it's just because he said, I asked him, who told you this? And he kept saying everyone was awake. And I kept saying, who?
Oh, we lost her.
I know, she's coming back up. And then he said Avery, and we interrupted.
Oh, okay.
Picked up Georgia.
and Breeley.
Right.
No.
So Caden Presley's mom came to pick them up.
No.
Yes, Kate Presley's mom and her sister,
Stop. So that,
Okay.
Presley's aunt.
and that's not true because we've seen the Life 360, and Georgia was already gone from the party. Caden's mother never came to the actual party. They picked Georgia up on the highway. They saw her and her friend Briley on the highway in Briley's car. So they never came to the actual party. So that's incorrect information that Jack has. Okay.
But you were asleep at that time.
Yes. Yeah, I just
you didn't see her. This is just, so you're just hearing this from other people that were there. Okay, so they said that happened, and then what else did they say?
And so everybody came and took showers. Everybody was kind of getting lining down and go to bed. And Noah asked Avery to sleep in her bed, and she said no. And I heard that he went and asked this other girl to sleep in her bed. She said no. And he was just mad and walked out and said he just told everybody he was going to cool off.
Who did he tell? Who told you these things?
I mean, everyone was awake, the whole friend group.
I know, but who?
Avery, Logan, Carter, my friends.
Mikey, Brylan. Did they say the same thing?
They were awake too, yeah.
Was Caden awake, did they say?
No, apparently Caden Press went to bed not too long after I did. But I'm not sure. I'm sure he's saying everything.
Okay. But Mikey and Brylan told you the same story, that Noah had tried to go into their rooms and go to sleep?
Yeah.
Did Noah hook up with Logan the night before? Did you hear that?
Not hooked up, but they kissed or something. That's why Avery said no to her sleep, for Noah to sleep in her bed.
Because she was mad?
Yeah. And she wasn't mad. That's the thing. They were not dating, so it didn't matter. So she didn't want Noah going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Did he do that? Did that happen a lot?
Noah got around a little bit.
Did anyone see him walk off?
Yes. So Logan walked outside, and she watched him walking towards the highway.
Did he go down the street, or did he go through the field?
She said she watched him walking down the gravel road.
Uh-huh.
And then I didn't know how long went by, and everybody started getting word about him, so everybody started looking for him. And didn't find him.
Stop for a second. Did you guys ever hear that Logan was the last person to see Noah walk off?
No, I was told it was Avery.
He told you it was Avery?
Jasmine said that it was Avery.
Okay.
Who told you that was Avery?
She was outside on the front porch with Noah when Noah walked off, and she came in and told everybody that Noah had just walked off.
That's interesting. Now they're trying to say it's Logan.
And then in one breath, he says that Avery was mad at him. And then he says, well, not really. So I was like, what is it? Was he mad or,
And he
was
had
she mad
told
or
us
not?
that it wasn't just kissing that went on Saturday night between Noah and Logan.
Okay.
And I got up. I woke up at like 5:30, the earliest, and I was looking at my hat. I asked Mikey was still awake. I asked Mikey where Noah was. He said he got mad and walked off. But the first thought to come to mind was
sorry,
something
what
terrible.
time did he say he woke up?
He said he woke up at 5:30, but Jasmine said that she woke him up at 5 a.m. and told him that Noah was missing.
And that he had said something to the effect of, he's probably laying down in a field somewhere. He'll come back when he gets hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Jasmine woke him up at 5 o'clock.
And she told you that, Jasmine?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was an early on conversation that we had with her.
Yeah.
It wasn't like months later it was in the month of September, like 2 weeks after it happened.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember she was one of the only people that came to you guys and talked to you. I also talked to Deborah. We talked to Deborah.
There was like probably a good eight of us or 10 of
Our
us.
aunts were
She came,
there.
and I felt so bad for her. I did, because she's just surrounded by all of us, and it's just her and her mom, and I'm sure she was scared. But yeah, she came and talked to all of us at once, and told her and her mom, and told us what she could when her mom wasn't interrupting and trying to fill in the blanks for her, but.
So you
And
have
her mom
8.
also told us like her accounts and the things that she was a part of as well. So her mom also spoke on the things that she saw herself.
Was the mom there?
She wasn't at the party, but she was talking about when she got the phone call
Got it.
and stopping on the side of the road and speaking to a volunteer fire department
Got it.
personnel.
Her cousin.
And it's her cousin.
Yes.
And then she went to the house, the party house, and told us like how things were going when she had got there. And when she got there, it was Avery and Carter cleaning up the beer cans and alcohol and all of that sort. So.
And she was the one who collected the guns as well. Was she the one, Renee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you have 8 people that Jasmine told this to. You guys were all together when she told you this about 5 a.m.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it possible he just doesn't remember?
I mean, supposedly he was asleep, and she didn't specify if he went back to sleep or anything like that. She just told us that she woke him up at 5 o'clock, told him Noah was missing. He said that he's probably laying down in a field somewhere, and he'll come back when it gets hot. She didn't really say if he got up at that point or if he went back to sleep. So, I mean, there's a chance that he was just kind of half asleep and just rolled back over and went to sleep, or if he could have gotten up. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah. That's possible.
That's possible.
Noah could always take care of himself,
Mm-hmm.
So I was going, and I got my truck at 5:50 and texted my dad and asked him to bring me a hat, whatever. So it was like 5:50, and I pulled down the driveway and got on the highway. I was headed north when I seen a semi, a little white car, and a truck, and I pulled over, and I could see Noah in the headlights.
How?
So that's, he said 5:50, 5:50 is when he got up and he went and looked for Noah. That really throws Caden's timeline into a tailspin, and, because the 911 call was, what was it again?
5:48, I think, is what it.
Yeah.
Originally, we thought it was like 5:56, but I
The
think
first
it finally
one.
came out that it was like
Yeah.
5:48.
The first one was at 5:48, and there was others after that. So, who knows? But that's interesting.
Horrifying. How did you feel?
It's not good.
Did you get out of the car then? Did you pull over?
Yeah, I pulled over. So I've always been somebody to stop when there's a bunch of cars on the side of the road. I've always been someone to just stop and see. But I stopped. I pulled over. They're all on the west side of the road. I pulled on the east side of the road. Stopped there and got out, walked over there. And one guy had his hands on Noah, like looked like checking his pulse. I asked him, said, "Is it okay?" He said, "No." And I don't know, it's kind of blurry.
I can imagine. Do you remember who was there when you got there?
Yeah, the truck driver's boss, and then like a guy in a little white car.
What kind of car?
I don't know.
Hey guys, he said the truck driver and the truck driver's boss.
I thought that was strange too. Who's he
But-
talking about?
Yeah, the two Tylers didn't work together
No.
for the same company.
No.
And he could just be mistaken. I don't know. I'm not.
Or he
that-
may be just filling in blanks that he didn't know then that he knows now.
Yeah.
But I don't know who was the little white car.
We knew that there was. Well, he had told us that there was a little white car there to begin with. But supposedly that little white car drove off before any kind of law enforcement got there, and I'm not sure. I've asked, but I'm not sure if law enforcement has ever located the little white car.
Yeah. Could have been just someone stopping and seeing and then realizing it's all taken care of and they're moving
Yeah.
on. Doesn't, Okay.
And he left before the cops got there. But I've already asked the investigators about it. They said they already cleared him.
So when did you stay there when the police got there? Then
You what?
were you there when the police got there?
Yes. So, they asked me how I knew and everything. I told them guys. And I went back to the house for just a second, and not long at all. I went back there for a second and kind of told everybody what had happened. I went back out there and just sat there with all those guys and waited there for the cops to get there.
So who was down there when you were waiting with the cops? Did the boys come down there? The rest of your friends, like Katie,
So, yes,
Mikey, Brylan.
they all jumped in Katie Presley's Jeep and drove down there, and they all got out and started walking up. And from what I remember, I kind of waved them off, said no, because no wasn't covered up or anything. But apparently, the truck driver's the one that told them that they probably shouldn't see it. But I'm not sure. I can't really remember it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a blur with all this chaos. Was your dad? Did he come down?
Yeah,
Because
so
he was waiting for you,
after
right?
yeah, him and my grandpa were waiting for me. And right when I got back from the scene into my truck, I called my dad and told him what happened. Him and my grandpa came down there. They both know his whole life.
Mm-hmm. So, did you think? What did you think happened to him?
I mean, I wasn't thinking about it at all until the cops got there and was all like, just hit and run. Every cop was saying that. Everyone was saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zachary Wright got there, and he was the one that said, no, it wasn't. And
So, what did you think about that?
I don't know. I didn't know what to think about it. I don't know. It looked like a hit and run from what I could tell, but I'm not sure. Now, I don't know.
Well, did you see any debris or anything on the road?
No. But most every single, well, I can't say vehicle, but most every single truck driving around here has got a ranch hand on the front of it. I'm not sure what to think would happen. I've heard the detective say so many different things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think there was anyone that was pissed off at Noah at that party that could have hurt him?
Nope. So I really can't see anyone intentionally hurting Noah, or even being an accident and not telling the cops. Trying to get help for him.
Why did you decide to take? Did they ask you to take a polygraph, or did you decide to do that yourself?
Well, Zach had said could help clear up some rumors and stuff. And I was like, yeah. And well, actually, the day after, the day of OSBI came to my dad's house. That's where we went to my dad's house, and OSBI came. They were just asking stuff, and they ended up saying, would you be willing to take a polygraph for everything? I was like, yeah. I mean, everyone said yes, not just me. And then the next day, or maybe a few days went by, and they called everyone, the detectives and like the OSBI, everybody was at Comanche, and they got like all my friends, Carter, Avery, everyone went there, and they pulled everyone's phones. Not everyone from the party, but everyone that was there when it happened.
That's the other thing that I'm trying to still wrap my head around. I mean, I know about Jack's polygraph case. I confirmed that with OHP that he did take it, and that was whether it was conclusive or inconclusive, whether he passed or passed. You know, he says he passed. So we have to take his word on that. But as far as the rest of the people, are you aware of anybody else other than Jack that gave up their phones and took polygraphs that you're aware of that they're telling you, or that you're aware of that?
Whenever they had that group interview, OHP took away their phones, like took them from them. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think anybody else has taken a polygraph, have they, Ashley?
No.
At least not that we're aware of, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to Zach the other day and regarding Mikey, and he said, because I think he took a polygraph too, but he wasn't sure. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they did it and didn't let people know, and maybe the people who took polygraphs, maybe they're not publicizing it like Jack was. So we'll just have to wait and see and talk to those people and find out for ourselves.
They got everyone's names, and everyone come in, they got their phones, and then everyone agreed to a polygraph that day.
Did they all take a polygraph?
Mm-hmm. And nobody, not one person took a polygraph test that day. I'm the only one that's taking one, and they just called me up on a random day.
And what did they tell you after you took the test?
I don't know. Apparently, so Zach told me from the start, like, I know that you had nothing to do with it from the start, but apparently he's been told Noah's entire family that he thought that I did or something. I don't know.
Well, did they say anything to you?
No. What do you mean, like?
Did they tell you if you passed or not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they told me right when I got on taking it that it was perfect pass.
They said it was a perfect test?
Perfect pass.
Perfect pass. Who told you that?
Zach, the examiner from Oklahoma City, and the results were right there. I mean, they just watched my entire body. They had stuff on my neck, under my butt, under my feet, on my fingers. They had stuff all over me. Just watching my body.
And they told you that they said that you passed?
Yeah. They even called Aunt Robyn and told her.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Because Zach told me that morning, said, if you pass, I'll call Noah's family and tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Called Nana and Mimi and Aunt Robyn.
Mm-hmm. So I have a quick question about that with the family. They told me, and they said this publicly as well, that you told them that you went to sleep at 11 o'clock.
I don't know where they got that from. I came probably the day after it happened, and I went to Dan's house and talked to them, and I told them exactly what I've told everyone. That's what happened.
So you didn't tell them that?
No.
Okay. And the other thing I want to clear up.
You're shaking your head, Robyn.
Well, because he told Victor that and he told Deb that. That was the first story.
Done 11 o'clock.
And
not
they
12.
weren't together. He told them separately. You know, they weren't. Victor wasn't at Deb's house with the rest of us. Victor was at his house. He told this separately.
Nana said that I changed my story like 5 times, and then I seen her again, and she said that she never said that, but she's, I don't know. I think she's just going through a lot.
You're talking about Robyn?
No, Nana's Deborah.
Oh, Deborah. Okay. I thought you said Robyn. I didn't hear you say Nana. Deborah. Okay. Yeah, Deborah, of course, she's very upset. We can imagine it's very upsetting for them because they don't know what happened. So it's not a hit and run. I mean, after the, all right, well, before we get to that, the shorts, can you clear up some of that for everybody? What happened with the shorts?
So I got there.
What was he wearing when you got there to the scene?
He's wearing a shoe. That's it. Just one shoe. I got there, and the night before, when he took a shower, he didn't have no extra clothes there. So Carter got him. I had an extra pair of shorts there. They're my wrestling shorts, actually, from school, and put those on. And then
Why did he take a
I got
shower?
there. A lot of people did. Well, everyone that was on the machine, my friends did. It just, they're all dirty from the wreck.
From the side-by-side, Carter was away.
Yeah, it's not. So we've heard a lot about the side-by-side wreck. I mean, do we know if there was a side-by-side wreck that no one
Well,
was
he
on?
was just about to let me ask the next question before we
Okay.
go on that.
Wake during that time?
Go back because it
Yes.
cut it off.
I think she's just going
Cool.
through a lot.
You're talking about Robyn?
No, Nana's Deborah.
Oh, Deborah. Okay. I thought you said Robyn. I didn't hear you say Nana. Deborah. Okay. Yeah, Deborah, of course, she's very upset. We can imagine it's very upsetting for them because they don't know what happened. So it's not a hit and run. I mean, after the, all right, well, before we get to that, the shorts, can you clear up some of that for everybody? What happened with the shorts?
So I got there.
What was he wearing when you got there to the scene?
He's wearing a shoe. That's it. Just one shoe. I got there, and the night before, when he took a shower, he didn't have no extra clothes there. So Carter got him. I had an extra pair of shorts there. They're my wrestling shorts, actually, from school, and put those on. And then
Why did he take a
I got
shower?
there. A lot of people did. Well, everyone that was on the machine, my friends did. It was just, they're all dirty from the wreck.
From the side-by-side, Carter was awake during that time?
Yes.
They didn't video any side wreck?
Do what?
You know, they were filming a lot for social media all night, but nobody filmed the wreck.
No, So when I left that morning, when I was leaving, the cops made me leave my side by side there for examining, and then I was like almost to Warwica, and they called and said that I can come get it, but you could tell it's in a wreck. I mean, the plastics were all beat up on it and stuff on the side where they flipped it.
Do you still have it, that side-by-side?
I kept it for a while, and then I just traded it for a boat not too long ago.
Oh, okay, cool. What kind of boat did you get?
I got a 99 Bayliner Capri.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so when you got to the scene, Noah was wearing only one shoe?
Yes.
What kind of shoe?
A Hey Dude. His Hey Dude.
A hey dude shoe. And that was it, no clothes. Was there anything next to him?
I thought that there was blood right by him, but that's it. You can't ever seen that. But and his shorts were kind of in the middle of the road, a little bit north of him.
What color were they?
White and gray and red, mostly white with gray and red accents.
Were they dirty?
No. Oh, we put them on right after you got out of the shower.
Oh, okay. And then, so they were on the ground?
Yes.
Did you pick them up or anything?
So, at first there was cars driving back and forth, and there's already the sheriff, I think, was there already. But I grabbed them and put them in the bed. I put them like kind of on my bedside,
Mm-hmm.
and the sheriff was like, "Throw those back, kind of where you found them." I said, "Okay," and he said, "We'll block off the road because they were about to get run over. Like people were driving by still." That's when they put the road block and made everybody go around the mile section.
Did he take the shorts out of the road, or did you?
I did. I put them on my bedside in my truck. Just set them up there.
Was any of Noah's? It's a horrible thing. I'm so sorry I have to ask this. His teeth. Was there any? Did you see any of his teeth on the ground?
Yeah, well, I didn't see them, but my dad actually is the one that's seen a tooth, or maybe his tooth. I'm not sure. He's the one that's seen it and pointed it out to the cops.
Because your dad was there too.
Yes, my dad got there, I think, right after the sheriff did. I mean, it was.
Do you remember
like
around what time, maybe?
I called him at 6, and probably about a 35-minute drive, something like that. So
Mhm.
probably about 6:30, 6:45, somewhere around there.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the shorts because we've been hearing so many different things of black shorts, the white shorts, the Cherokee, wrestling shorts. What it was in. I mean, we've talked to Dalen about it. We've seen the black shorts, never seen the other shorts. Where are those other shorts? I mean, we've heard that when he was there, he didn't have any clothes on, and then when I believe then they said there was shorts on him, and then when Zach showed up, he said there were shorts on him, or no, when Zach showed up, he was naked. So
Caden and one other person, and I'm not going to say who that person is, told us that there were two. Let me say that again. Caden and one other person told us that Noah was wearing shorts when they saw him.
Black shorts, not white.
black
No.
shorts, exactly, black shorts.
Caden and one other person told us that Noah was wearing black shorts when they saw him that morning
On the roadside.
on the roadside.
Yeah, that's what we've been told by Caden and another person too.
Yep. Who were physically there. So I don't know where. Have you ever seen these shorts that he's talking about? The Comanche ones, the wrestling shorts? Does OHP have them?
Not like since this incident, but like my kid even has those shorts.
No, I know. That's what I'm talking. I'm sure they're pretty prevalent in that area since the high school's there. You got a lot of athletes. But as far as those shorts from that,
shorts,
yes,
not since before that night, because I've seen Jack wearing them before that. But they are in OHP custody, evidence, whatever.
Got it.
Did they tell you if there was anything on those shorts? Like, were they dirty? Were they?
No,
ripped?
they weren't dirty. No,
Were they
rips.
ripped?
Yeah, because we saw the black shorts and they were ripped and they were tattered, and there was actually a cigarette burn hole in one of the legs. And Noah didn't smoke, correct?
No, it didn't smoke.
Did Jack smoke?
Not that I'm aware of. He I believe, dipped every now and again, but yeah, no smoking.
Yeah. And based upon some of the movies and the videos that were posted online, I seen people drinking, but I didn't see anybody smoking. But I could be wrong.
Kids don't smoke these days. Like it's not.
They vape.
It's not like when we were all growing up. They all vape, and so
So I thought that was interesting that there was it may not be a cigarette burn hole, but it looked like
a cigarette burn hole.
And it was probably about the size of the top of my
Well,
feet.
and it could have very well been a cigarette burn hole because Nana and Grandma both smoke. and they did Noah's laundry, so it could have.
There you go. That could have happened too, very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what you know, those Comanche wrestling shorts are in possession. The OHP has those as evidence.
Yes, as far as I know, they have them as evidence.
Yeah. And as far as what we've been told from people at the scene that saw it, you know, Caden, as well as another young man that was with him, said he was wearing black shorts. Okay. And then when OHP showed up at, I believe, just after 7, don't know the exact time, that he was naked. So one point when he was there, when Jack got there, he wasn't wearing any shorts. The shorts were in the middle of the road, the wrestling shorts. He picked them up. He put them in his bed. Then I think he tells us later that he picked them up and then was told to put them not to the roadside, but he put them next to the body. And we know there was a set of shorts that was folded up next to the body when OHP got there. Whether or not they were the wrestling shorts or the black shorts, I think we still have to kind of confirm that. Do you know anything about that?
It was the white wrestling shorts.
It was the white wrestling shorts. Okay. And then there was no sign of the black shorts.
No sign of the black shorts.
And then Jack eventually gave those black shorts to Dalen, correct? Did he hand it? It was he was the person who handed it over to Dalen.
I'm sorry. My internet connection is not doing very good. You just cut out. Do what?
Okay. I said the black shorts that Dalen has, he told us that Jack gave him those shorts.
Yes.
Okay.
And Jack had told us that too.
Exactly.
That his dad was, he told us that his dad was given Noah's American flag shirt, his black shorts, all of that stuff by the cops is what he told us. And that they gave the shorts to Dalen and they passed out like the shirt and his hat and for other friends for mementos of Noah.
So they did get back his hat as well?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
Did they get back his hat as well? The hat?
I can't.
No.
Ashley?
No.
My connection.
Okay, we'll wait for her to come back. But Ashley, tell us that whether or not, you know, the hat was recovered as well. I mean, also was missing, it was his wallet, correct?
Right.
Can you hear us now, Robyn?
Yes.
Okay, so we were talking about the other articles that were missing from Noah. His hat, was that recovered? And his wallet, was that recovered?
We've never seen him. We have not gotten him back. His hat, his wallet, his shirt, his other shoe. We have not gotten any of that back.
Do you know if law enforcement has it, or is it, because we've been told stories about his hat, and I don't know whether or not it's true or not, because we don't know what OHP has in possession. We know, based upon what you've told us, that it was those wrestling shorts, those white wrestling shorts that had the Comanche logo on there, and that the black shorts were given to him, like, so by Jack, and Jack's father had his, you know, flag shirt, tank top, and you don't know whether or not the hat was involved in that exchange as well.
I believe it was, according to what Jack had told us. I mean, I don't know, like, I wasn't there. I can't verify what I was told.
Yeah.
But we were told that they had the hat, the shirt, and the shorts, and that they passed them out for mementos.
Who, the OHP did, or did?
No, Caleb and Jack.
Oh, okay. So before they got to the family.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's kind of weird.
Like Dalen, they gave Dalen the black shorts, but that's the only article of clothing or article that Noah had with him that has come back to the family. Nobody has offered up the shirt to us. You know, whoever's got it, nobody's offered up his hat. His wallet's still missing. His other shoe that he, couldn't find when he was looking for his shoes. We have no clue where any of that stuff is. Nobody's ever offered it to us.
And OHP doesn't have that. They just have the shorts.
As far as I know, no.
Okay. And we can confirm that. Interesting.
Okay. And then, well, did Noah have a sheet on him? He didn't have a sheet on him when you got there.
No, he didn't have nothing on him or nothing. The cops weren't there when I got there. They'd already called him, but they weren't there yet.
And then Jeremy Wilson, was he the first cop to show up?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
sure.
Jeremy. Is it Jeremy Williams or Jeremy Wilson? Jeremy
Wilson.
JW. Yeah, Jeremy Wilson. Okay. He was the first cop to show up, the first officer to show up?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
And did he talk to you?
Yeah. He's the first one that said it was a hit and run.
Yeah.
Robyn has it.
You have something you want?
Jimmy was the first one to show up, not Jeremy. Jeremy didn't get there until about 30, 40 minutes after Jimmy did.
The undersheriff Jimmy showed up first.
Okay, what's his last name again?
William.
Williams. Okay, so Jimmy Williams and Jeremy Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they call they call Jeremy Wilson JW, right?
Yeah, JW.
Okay.
Been pretty broken up because he knew Noah too.
Yeah. Yep.
So when the medical report came out and you found out that it was a blunt force injury and not a hit and run, what did you think about that?
Well, they told me that just because of the blunt force injury, that does not mean it wasn't a hit and run. But I don't know.
Did you go to Noah's funeral?
Yes.
What was the funeral like?
Lots of people.
That's terrible. I'm sorry. So they're still telling you, the police were still telling you that it was a hit and run after the medical report came out?
They're not saying what it is. They're just saying that they haven't ruled any of it out.
I see. I mean, Robyn told me that you said that you were asleep at 11 o'clock that night. Is she mistaken?
Yes, I don't know. At first I said 1:30, so I went to sleep around 1:30. But then there was right before I went to sleep, there was a picture of me Noah taken at like 1:50 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And went to bed after that.
Was he talking about this picture that was taken? Do you understand what he was saying there?
It was cutting out for me. Ashley, do you know what?
Yeah, he basically said that initially he said, because Cindy said that you told Robyn that it was 11 o'clock. And then he said, well, I initially then I said I thought it was 1:30. And then I saw a picture of me and Noah at like 1:50.
1:50.
At 1:50. So that's when he figured out.
That's got to be the picture of him and Noah in the bathroom, probably.
Yes. That was at 1:50. So that would mean that, he wasn't asleep at 11 o'clock or 1:30.
Yeah.
He could be asleep at 2 o'clock after that. But, 1:50 to 2 o'clock, What do you think, Ashley? You're speechless.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen more then.
Do you think that, what about Caden? He said that you came in at 5:15 and told everybody that.
I don't know. I can't really explain any of that. I don't know. I've talked to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says that's what he remembers.
Okay.
He's said some crazy stuff.
Like what? I want you to refute what you think is not true. I want you to have a moment to say that, everybody gets to say their piece.
Most everything that Caden's saying is not true at all.
Which part?
About the times and just, I don't know. I don't get on Facebook and look at all the time.
No.
I just heard.
You think about that. He's basically saying everything that Caden's saying is not true.
Yeah. Caden's story has not changed at all. It has been very consistent from the first time he told Ashley to, today. The same story that he told you guys, the same story he posted on Facebook, but, the same story he told Dalen. He has been very consistent.
Yeah. And law enforcement. He's talked to them twice.
Yeah, and law enforcement, yeah.
And his phone stuff.
And it's not like we're taking it third person either, because he recorded all his conversations, so we heard what he said to the police.
And his phone records are lining up with what he said also.
Yeah.
That's why it's confusing.
His phone records are lining up.
And
I don't understand why, like, when you're directly asking someone, what is it specifically that he's lying about, and you can't come up with a damn thing? Like,
yeah, he just makes a general
if
statement.
I'm so adamant about how I feel about somebody, then I'm going to call them out. I'm going to be like, this exactly, or this right here. But, whatever.
Yeah, he just makes a general statement that everything he's saying is not true. So.
It's awful.
About him saying the times are all different.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so I didn't walk in and just say, like, I didn't walk into the house and just said, just know it was dead or whatever. I was walking through there and I was just going to Carter. I didn't really know what to do. And Avery was right there. She actually asleep on the couch. I don't even know. She was right there. She see that I was crying. And she was like, what's wrong? And I said, Noah's gone. Like, kind of quietly. No one really heard it. I walked in there, and when I came back out of the room, everyone was up and everyone knew what happened.
Ashley, you're shaking your head.
You're shaking your head, Ashley. What's going on?
I swear, like this. Okay, so he's talking about, oh, I didn't come in there and I didn't wake everybody up and I didn't say, oh, Noah's dead or whatever. I would believe that more than how he just explained how it exactly went down. So Avery's already crying and you're asking her what is wrong. What do you mean? Like, what is wrong? So obviously somebody knew something before something was said, if we're going to go that based onto his story. But if Caden is saying that he came in and he was like, Noah is dead, I could believe that more because it seems like there's more passion behind it. Like you just saw some stuff that you can't unsee. That makes more sense to me. But then you like, oh, I went in there and I went to Carter and whoop-de-whoop, whatever.
I mean,
If I saw something, I'm gonna have a little bit more passion behind that, rather than just let me go find my girlfriend and go see about how I need to do this. I would give it two shits. I'd be like, look, y'all, this is exactly what happened, just how Caden explained it, rather than nonchalant, like, let me go see if I can get approval for this. Whatever.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting, he said
Well,
Avery
also,
was. Go ahead.
in the beginning of this tape, he says that he walks in and told everybody that Noah was dead. And so, like in the beginning of this tape we're listening to, and now he's saying he didn't do that.
He's saying that he went to go and talk to Carter or whatever. And
yeah, but at the beginning of this tape, he said he walked in and told everybody, and now he's saying, no, I just went into Carter's room and just said it quietly that he was gone. And
I think he gives another
Am I wrong?
version of this.
You guys kind of cut out, so I could be wrong.
That's okay. No,
That's
no,
what
you're
I was
right.
thinking.
You're right. That's exactly what he said. And he actually gives another version of what happened too after this, if I'm correct. But what I thought was interesting is he said that he walked in there and he said Avery was asleep on the couch or on the couch. I don't know if he was asleep on the couch or on the couch. And when Caden described where people were sleeping in the living room area, he kind of pinpointed where everybody was on the chair, the couch, and Avery wasn't in that area unless there's another couch in a bedroom that she was asleep on. But we already know that, she was more than likely in bed because no one wanted to sleep in her bed. So why would she be asleep on the couch? So it's like, that's another little piece of, and maybe he's just kind of blacking out and blurring. And I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that the PTSD that maybe he had suffered from seeing his best friend
There's
dead
gotta
on a
be
hike.
trauma there.
There's got to be trauma there. And, we all try to recreate things, traumatic experience, and we miss some things. So I'm hoping that's the case. So let's see what he says.
It's horrible. I'm sorry. It's a horrible thing to happen.
The cops already confirmed all my times because they have all my phone records. They've seen where my phone was at what time and seen when I called my dad, I texted my dad.
Mm-hmm. They did a geofencing on your phone?
Yeah, they did it to everyone's phone.
They did. They took everyone's phones.
Yeah, like I said, that day in Comanche, everyone that was there that morning turned their phones. They gave all their phones to the cops.
Are you still living in that town, or did you move?
Moved.
You moved. I understand that. How has this been for you? I mean, it was your best friend. I mean, how are you coping with all this?
Staying busy. Work a lot.
Do you miss Noah?
Yeah.
How do you think his family? I'm sorry?
Go from every day to multiple years to nothing. So it's pretty bad.
There's been so much nonsense on the social media. I think one of the biggest things we realize is that I think, everyone in the family has always said nice things about you and how close you guys were, but there's a lot of like ugly talk on the internet, and I don't understand. They don't understand why, and they feel like they don't know why people aren't trying to help more to find out what happened. Do you know what can you say to that or to them or something? I don't know. Just trying to heal this process.
I don't know. When something happens like this, everyone and their moms thinks they know or whatever. I mean, having an opinion of what happened or whatever, that don't hurt nothing, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff said. I can't know. Can't explain any of it. I don't know why somebody would do that.
No, but I mean, just like trying to help them find out what happened.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't know. How can you help them find out what happened?
I mean,
I'm just trying to figure out how they can get some closure here. This is a horrible situation for them. They're suffering bad.
Yeah, I know. But I've done every single thing the cops have told me.
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I understand that. I'm just trying to think like what else can be done.
I mean, everyone's already worked to get it out there everywhere. I think whoever knows something about it's right here. You're out here in Duncan or someone else just driving through there that lives in the surrounding area. I don't know, somewhere close.
What do you think happened to Noah?
Honestly, I think that somebody was driving by and Noah was the kind of guy that would waste me out and ask him for a ride. He would he didn't know a stranger really. But I think maybe he was on the hood of a car or a bed of a truck or something. Maybe fell off, or I don't know. I thought that would happen, and just figured better leave it up to the professionals. I don't know.
Would Noah wave down a strange car in the middle of the night to take him somewhere? Would he do something like that?
I don't think so.
I mean, I
A
can't
strange
see
car,
it.
like at this time in the
Noah
morning.
was friendly, but he wasn't an idiot,
Yeah, he wouldn't get in a
Uh,
stranger's car.
Yeah. I mean, he was super friendly, but yeah, he wasn't an idiot. So
Yeah, he seemed like he had situational awareness. I mean, he knows a threat when he sees it, and that doesn't seem like something. I don't think anybody in this age would just at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning wave down a car on a roadside. That's
Yeah, no, I understand. One last question. So did Noah have golf clubs at the party?
So he had golf clubs in his truck, but then when he took his truck home, the golf clubs went home with him. So no, not Sunday night.
say. What are you gonna say? Could you hear it?
No, they did not. Those golf clubs did not. I've got his truck in my driveway. We have searched that truck. They never made it in the house. Those golf clubs did not come back.
Yeah. So after Saturday, they did not come back with his truck. So after Saturday,
I'm
can you
sorry,
hear me?
you're cutting out again.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say, so Ashley, Robyn just said that she searched Noah's truck. Those golf clubs did not come back home.
Correct.
So Noah did not bring them back home on Saturday night.
No.
Or Saturday.
No.
Oh, and one last thing. They've never been recovered, correct?
No.
So the golf clubs disappeared, as well as we're not sure about his hat or wallet as well.
Right.
Was anyone using the golf clubs at the party?
I think there was a golf club, but it wasn't one of those. It was I think it might have been out of the bed of my truck, or somebody just had a random golf club in the bed of their truck. And I think it was out. I'm not sure.
Because Caden said that he saw golf clubs at your house. Is that true? In the scrap pile?
I heard that he told everybody that one day I was scrapping and he seen scrap golf clubs at the scrap. I don't know. And there's golf clubs everywhere. My dad golfs and whatnot, but I doubt there'd be a set of golf clubs in the scrap pile.
Stop for a second. Someone else told us that they saw them as well. Caden, and there was someone else
With
Caden who told us when we were in Oklahoma that he saw those golf clubs as well. I'm not going to reveal who that is right now until he decides to talk.
Yeah.
But he said that he saw them.
There. And one of them was damaged. So, interesting. So I'm almost done here.
So, no, he didn't see one of my trailers. I mean, golf clubs don't weigh nothing. There's no point taking to the scrap yard. So stuff like that, just like every single thing that Caden has said is just untrue. And I don't know. And the other day when we were talking, he was kind of cheering up, and I don't know what's going on with him. I've known Caden for a long time, been close for a long time.
Did you talk to him recently?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He was just saying sorry a lot. Really.
He was saying he was sorry to you?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. He's like, sorry, this is all happening. Hopefully, when it's over, we can go back to hanging out all the time. And it's weird. He's acting not like himself.
Are you still hanging out with the other guys, Brylan and Mikey and Isaac and them?
Yeah.
Do you guys all still hang out?
We don't hang out like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
Travel for work and whatnot, but yeah, we're still friends.
Are you still dating Carter?
So we split up for a little bit, but now we're not. We're back together.
Now you're back together?
Yes.
Okay. Are you still engaged or no? Sorry, then
We'll
these are
get married
personal
one day.
questions. You think so?
Yeah.
Did Noah have a girlfriend like that he thought he would marry?
I mean, he had a few that thought they'd marry him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Are you surprised to see him on the cover of People magazine like this?
I mean, it's good. It's good it's getting out there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. Sitting there and not here, you know?
His girlfriend, Phelan, what was that all about? Was he serious with her or?
No.
Yes, and that's so just so our viewers, Robyn's internet's been copping out and crapping out for her, so she's been coming back and forth. So if you see her disappear and reappear, that's what's happening. And then, so what do you think about all this? I mean, obviously you've spoken to Jack numerous times. You still speak to him. What'd you think about what he had to say, both of you?
I mean, some of it's bull, but, you know, according to him, he was asleep and it was relayed to him by other people. You know, he didn't mention the fact that Avery and Carter were on the front porch fighting about Noah. You know, there's video of that.
And you've seen that video? You've seen that video?
I haven't seen it. I was told about it by OHP.
Got it.
And I'm just going to have to trust that OHP is telling me the truth when it comes to, you know, there being this video existing. But he may not have been told about it, you know.
Well, that's the thing. It seems like most of his information is coming from someone else. Like he wasn't witness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because, you know, Caden doesn't remember an ATV accident. In fact, you know, some people were saying that Caden was the one who flipped the ATV over, and he had like that.
I saw that.
Which is ridiculous because the kid just came off an ACL injury and he couldn't even put weight on that leg.
What did they tell you guys about the ATV? Did they say that it was in an accident or that it had anything on it that looked like it was in an accident?
They said that they inspected it. They didn't find any evidence of it being like a serious accident or anything, that it was perfectly fine. And so they released it to the Newtons.
Yeah. Yeah. How about the timeline on when he got rid of it? I mean, because we've been told he got rid of it pretty quick. And then he said it was like a while later where he traded it for a boat. I think someone even sent us a screenshot about it too.
Yeah. I know when Caleb had gotten on and posted on Facebook, he had talked about how Jack had traded it for a boat. I'm not exactly sure. Do you remember when that was, Ashley? But I'm not exactly sure when it was actually traded. But I know Caleb had talked about it months ago.
Yeah. Ashley, overall viewpoints on what you heard today? Anything new, anything interesting, anything that kind of takes you a pause?
Man,
I know.
I feel like he was scrambling to find an answer to these questions. If you knew something naturally, it's easy to say. When whenever you asked about, like, did anybody at the party want to hurt Noah, there was an immediate answer of nope. But it's like everything else was like, I gotta think about it. So
Yeah, it seemed like he was groping for answers on some of these questions.
mm-hmm.
And I would imagine as many times that he's told his story so far, both to people of the press, People Magazine, law enforcement, you would think you would have a better understanding. You'd be a lot quicker with these answers. Because we didn't
have some notes next to you so you could be like, okay, I said this last time, I'm gonna be consistent here.
Yeah. I mean, because when we interviewed Caden, he didn't have any notes, anything. I mean, like I said, we heard him twice on recorded phone calls with people with his story. Then before we had him on the podcast, we talked to him for almost 2 hours, basically grilling him about his story. And then like 4 days later, we had him on the podcast, and they mirror what he said prior.
And after this, I did ask Caden, had he called Jack or reached out to him, and he sent me his phone records. He was not reaching out to Jack multiple times. He did say that he did say to Jack something to the effect of, after this is over with and you're cleared of anything, maybe we can hang out or whatever, or something.
Be friends again.
Something to that effect. Either way, it's hearsay. It's irrelevant. But just to be clear, Caden's story didn't change, and we do have stuff to back it up. This is the first real conversation.
Caden's story is that Caden and his mom have been so willing to give. They're not putting it all out on Facebook because honestly, it's not Facebook's business, but they have been so willing to give anything that they can to OHP and to us to show, like, hey, this is what we know, and we're not lying. We're not making this up. Here's our timeline via phone records and Life 360 and Apple Maps, and they have been very willing to supply everything that they can to show that hey, this is what we know.
Yeah, and then independent of Jasmine's meeting with your family, other than that, no other person has been that, foregoing for giving information to you guys.
Not to me and Ashley.
Or Dalen, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dalen's talked to quite a few people, but yeah, it's not super detailed or anything from what I understand. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. And Dalen, he's still, he teaches in that school system down there. And, I would think that it's got to be hard for him to kind of, they're all older, they're all graduated now, but I'm sure that this story is going to have reverberations to that community for a long time. And it's going to sit with people. And so,
we could see how hard it is on him and his wife. They're having a hard time. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, really appreciate you guys listening to that. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I mean, I know you have, Robyn, you have a personal relationship with Jack. You've known him forever. He spent a lot of time with you, Noah, and the family. And so it's got to be difficult to have someone that close to you and still not really feel confident you're getting the whole story. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, because he keeps saying that he was asleep, and so we're just getting hearsay from him for the most part. And Renee had told us whenever Jasmine and her came and talked to us that Avery and Carter would be more than willing to come talk to us and tell us their side of the story. Yet they had never, and at this point I'm not expecting them to, because obviously their family's a little crazy, but they never actually reached out, they never offered, they never, nothing. We were told they were more than willing, but nothing from their side other than victim shaming online and trash talk on our family online, and so
Victim shaming on Noah, which I think is horrifying.
yeah.
That you're going to try to blame Noah for his own death?
Yeah. And the lies that have been put out there, it's just, to me it's just insane. I can't say it enough. It's insane. Like, who does that? A kid ends up dead after being on your family's property, and you are going to go and just talk shit about him and his family, and it's just insane to me, but it is what it is. It just shows what kind of people they are.
I can see why they're not talking to you guys individually at this point, because they lawyered up and legally, but to kind of just take it a step further and then just start online victim shaming, that's I don't know what that gets you. I mean, what does that get you? I mean, it's like
trying to put out a different narrative to take the heat off of them.
Yeah. The thing that really gives me pause too is that they, and I remember, when we talked to Deborah, Nana, about this, the thing that really triggered her is the fact that they all went back to sleep after they found out Noah was dead. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not true, but also the fact that they had a party the next weekend at that same house. She just, I mean, with the look on her face when she told us that, it crushed her. It was like, because that's really what they told her, what they thought about Noah. If they could just do those two things when you find a friend. I mean, I don't know. Even if I didn't know, if I was at a party and I didn't even know Noah and something like that happened, it's pretty tragic. It would be pretty shocking. All right, ladies, listen, thank you so much for your time, and just we'll keep on fighting the fight here, and I know you guys are fighting it, and then we'll hopefully get some justice for Noah soon.